everybody, welcome to the Taurus route. Let's take a quick look at the transit chart. We're going to look at the new moon down here that happened 2 days before Kanye tweeted that he lost $2 billion in a day. So I don't know exactly when he lost it, but it seems to have happened pretty quickly that his sponsors dropped him, and it had to have been pretty close to this new moon. So I think it's worth looking at this chart in particular. But the main thing that doesn't really relate to the specific of a day so much exactly is this Saturn up here in the 8th house of, as it relates to this, other people's money, but also death and rebirth and other things. But as it relates to this, death and rebirth and other people's money is all we really need to look at. And the fascinating thing is it's right up here at 18 degrees and I think 35 minutes. And you can see it's making an exact angle here to his ascendant at 18 degrees of Cancer. So this planet, which represents death, endings in the house of other people's money, making an exact angle to his ascendant, is very interesting. And it's why astrology is built on geometry and math, and why studying this stuff and the cycles of this stuff is important to understand karma as it relates to Saturn. So the other main thing to think about is this new moon is happening conjunct Venus. And if you look up here, we can see the North Node is transiting up around 13 degrees. And then we've got Uranus over here. I think it was at 16 degrees at the time. So there was a very loose eclipse, solar eclipse that was happening in this new moon. And it was the beginning of eclipse season anyway. And this new moon was conjunct Venus, which is the planet that represents money. And it's happening in Scorpio, which is the natural ruler of the 8th house and is associated with death and rebirth and potentially other people's money and loss and things of that nature. And so opposite, you can see he's in his natal chart, he's got Venus, Mars, and Chiron all conjunct at the beginning of Taurus. So there's this opposition coming from the sign of death and rebirth to his natal relationship with money in Taurus. So yeah, I think that's pretty fascinating stuff going on there. And then with Uranus here as part of it, all happening so fast. I don't believe people have lost that much money that quickly if he actually lost the $2 billion he claims. But I think the real interesting thing is the Saturn up here. And I'll just sort of throw this out in Kanye's defense. I don't know much about Kanye, but what I do know is that he's very unfairly treated in the press and has sort of been turned into a caricature of, I think, what he really is. And I think people would assume that his karma and him losing all of this money is related to the things that he said. I would just throw out there the idea that maybe the karma of it all is his getting in bed with those giant, horrible corporations to begin with. And maybe this is his karma, his personal karma for that, and it has nothing to do with the things he said. Just throwing that out there because the media will definitely tell you or give you a good idea of exactly why he lost that money. But I think karma is a far more complicated creature than the media is likely to ever tackle. So thank you for watching. Take care, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.